Wednesday, the 28th of March, which means that it is only 3 weeks away until the After Hours Gaming League Grand Finals. Look at where we are now. We have hit the round of 8, and everything seems to be as it should. In the brackets, in the top right, we see Epic managing to continue its tear as the #1 seeded team, Amazon in 8th, also managing to successfully defeat EA in the bottom right. A little bit of an upset as Palantir takes down Google, the notoriously skilled team from Season 1, but Palantir, too powerful with the help of Tristan, will face up against Twitter that managed to best the Geek Squad. In the bottom left of the bracket, we see Qualcomm over NVIDIA, the biggest upset of all the seedings, the lowest seeded team to make it to the round of 8, Qualcomm in 11th. Zynga managing to successfully knock down Intel, proving why they got second place in AHGL Season #1. But most shockingly of all, Microsoft dethrones the champions of the last AHGL, Microsoft, in an incredible 3-1 victory as the police from outdoors come to my door. No, indeed no law has been broken. Facebook badly beat Microsoft in all legal ways via Starcraft. IBM taking down Twitch TV means that here we are sitting with IBM versus Facebook, the match that you are about to watch in the After Hours Gaming League, hosted by me, Day 9, and of course supported by Red Bull Gaming. For all your AHGL action, go to AfterHoursGamingLeague.tv, and if you'd be so kind as to check that site out, you can see all sorts of amazing things with our Starcraft and our League of Legends League. You can even check out the team pages where we see today IBM representing Youth Service America goes up against Facebook representing Room to Read. Whoever wins the AHGL gets $5,000 of donation money to the charity of their choosing. The charities have been appropriately stated. Literally right now, if you are listening, you heard both of them. But now it's time to stop burbling on about charities, and it's time to get to some competing action. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. As in the bottom, we have Diofant representing Team IBM as the Protoss. In the right position, John Oldman from Team Facebook rocking out as hard as humanly possible in the right as the good old Red Zerg. And now it's time for the scores to be set at 0-0. We see them popping up. And they will be duking it out in best-of-7 fashion, which means that I am going to need to take regular breaks between casting these matches to refill on various throat-lubricating substances like water and honey. That's what I'm talking about. In the meantime, it looks like the map is indeed going to be Antigua Shipyard. An excellent map for doing all things expand focused is exactly what we see Diofant, the fancy IBM, are doing. In the right position, we see John Oldman has not yet revealed what he wants to do other than noting, interesting, hatchery on 2. Now, I don't know if this is one of those 1 to 4 are buildings and 5 and up are units. That's a very common hotkeying setup that many a player have been known to use. Perhaps he just wants 1 as units, 2 as hatch, and that's all there is to it. We will find out soon enough. Diofant, ooh, spreading the hotkey usage out. 4 is a nexus, 1 is a scouting probe, and #1 is what he's scouting for that championship position. We see, oh no, a brutal series of dizzying feats from this probe of Diofant. Oh, he blocks it. Ouch. That hurts John Oldman, the Zerg from Facebook, right down to his social networking bones. And will he have enough to be able to take down that one single lone pylon? Meanwhile, it looks like Diofant getting a very late forge. This is a very safe maneuver, building the pylon, then the forge. One of the great benefits of it is that you can continue to chrono boost probes. You don't have to worry about getting blocked at something like 18 of 18 and then having to not build probes, more commonly known as the opposite of building probes. Looks like we see Diofant continuing to patrol here. Looks like John Oldman not going to go for the extended long-distance hatchery at the 3rd, playing out fairly normally. Diofant now throwing down the Nexus. This pylon also serving as an excellent scout. Should any lings emerge from the main, Diofant will be there to spot them in all his spotting glory. Will he actually throw down a gateway? Nope, going to build a photon cannon. Love that placement. We're going to see a gateway go down here in a moment. Here it comes. I bet you there's going to be a gateway. Nah, he's scouting. Looks like he did manage to see all of those probes get planted down. And, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh, Diophant with his fancy wall off. Ordinarily, there's just enough space to build a gateway there, but it looks like Diophant miscalculated by 1. And when you miscalculate by 1 in school, you get an A- instead of an A. If you miscalculate by 1 when building a bridge, then a lot of people are gonna die, Diophant. And it looks like miscalculating by 1 has cost him the defense of a comfortable early wall-off. Diophant not looking so Diophancy now. In the top right, we see John Oldman, the Zerg, doing things that Zergs like to do, most notably taking bases, building drones, building queens to take more drones, which will subsequently help in the building of future bases. Diophant now checking out that top side. There's the cybernetics core, and we see it is riddled with holes, much like cheese of the Swiss variety. Now John Oldman poking up to the top. Oh, Diophant, will he die with this probe? No, just checking. Spots the third. Diophant now getting the double assimilator, continuing to chronoboost probes. A fairly common transition if you're not trying to go for fast tech is to try to go mega economy. Most Protosses like to conserve that chronoboost for things like Warp Gate or the Stargate research, etc., etc., etc. But no, getting probes an equally viable option, as Huck has demonstrated many a time on Tal'Darim Altar. So Diophant continuing to do that mass chronoboosting. I love it. Also stepping forthward, we have a bold zealot who knows that winter is coming. That actually is not relevant to the game, but I really am excited for April 2nd. I'm not going to lie. That is getting super DVR'd on the big screen. John Oldman now building up his additional queens. It looks like he has not yet constructed any gas geysers. Normally around 6:30 is about as late as you see them go down. Otherwise, we may end up in trouble. We may end up in trouble. We see a pylon going down, and look at this, a Stargate coming out for Diophant. The double gas now down for John Oldman. Ordinarily, we would have a warp-in from Zealots coming as early as 7:45, but Diophant had to delay that one cybernetics core production for a bit. It looks like Diophant did manage to pick off some lings mid-map. Overlord also scouts out. Void Rays are coming. Now it looks like we see a couple more gateways plopping down. Can he manage to sneak his way out of there? Can he? Yeah, of course he can. Why wouldn't he? Stalker's now advancing to kill off that one Overlord. No more scouting for you, mister. There is the double building plant go down. We see one Evo chamber, one Roach Warren, no partridges in a pair of trees, as Dustin Browder deemed them too imbalanced for Starcraft 2. But not too imbalanced to joke about. John Oldman now planning down his expansion hatchery. Has a lot of drones in that unit station. We see 44 drones to 38. Notice how the constant chrono boosting from Diophant helped them maintain that probe count as being fairly equal. Looks like there we see the Void Ring going down. Simulators continue to be constructed, etc. +1 upgrade coming down as well, creating a building maze at the front of his base. Diophant starting to push forward with these two Stalkers, can do a lot of damage as there currently is no Link speed, is no Roach speed, and we see the Stalkers, starting to do a little bit of damage. The player from IBM. They sell business solutions. Well, the solution to this guy's business is the particle disruptors. Almost said phase disruptors, but I think that's what they're called in Brood War. How embarrassing of me not to know my lore. Twilight Council going down for Diophant. Looks like he wants to be transitioning to some kind of Stalker sentry with Blink Force coming up. John Oldman has not yet begun any of those layer tech research, and we see a wealth of resources building up in the IBM Protoss's bank. Probe moving forward. Will it be a proxy pylon, or will it be an embarrassed probe? His cheeks are red, as is the ground beneath him, coated with probe blood, which I assume is the same as human blood. There it looks like the one Overlord falls, but ladies and gentlemen, we see a gateway fleet. Oh my gosh, he bought 5 and got 5 at cost, none free. He had to pay for that with his own hard work, and now we see the one Void Ray has surrounded itself, queens flanking it from all sides. I hope that it's safe up here. He's going to try to GTFO. He's going to skirt along the top side of Spore Crawler. Eyes him watchfully. In the main, we see a Spore Crawler's planted, easily able to defend. Another Spore Crawler up there at the second base. Doesn't need bonus ones at the second, as it is already quite well defended. Ooh, it looks like one cancel on the gateway. Was feeling a little bit over-ambitious, was worried he wouldn't have enough to properly defend. There we see ground weapon level 2 come up. A Blink army could be en route. Now it looks like John Oldman is taking down the destructible debris to try to threaten the third, but there is no third. In fact, Diafant is only envisioning all things all-in-ish. But then again, a 7 gate is all-in for players most of the time. But right now we do see quite the hefty brew of money going up for Diafant. Morphing in more units of Phoenix coming up. We'll be able to couple well with that Void Ray, more commonly known as a Skill Ray, to help lift up those queens. And there we see the Phoenix moving northward bound. The Probe also heading to the top. He might be building a proxy pylon, and there it looks like the Extractor taking some damage, John Oldman pulling back. Look how low that queen energy is. Doing an excellent job maintaining those injects. We see the Spire cropping up. Not enough gas to do a big transition to them Mutars, but could indeed be just building it to have some kind of anti-Colossus force. We see that there's a decent number of Stalkers in the front, continuing to become a super decent force. All the Void Rays are up and running, ready to rock and go. He's getting ready to take his third base, but here comes the counter. Oh no! A collision of armies in the middle, and it looks like Diafant was on the move. Command, he ended up being a little bit too close, but the speed for the Roach is not done yet. There it looks like we do see the Sentry with the Guardian Shield. A lot of Stalkers are falling. No reinforcements have come up. Both forces decide to retreat. Unfortunately, though, for the Protoss player, he has not chosen to target fire the hatch. Will he lose this Void Ray? Oh no, or will he spot it in time? It is fully charged. Down to 53, 44, 35, 26, 17, 8. See you later. Hope you enjoyed life on Earth, because life in hell for Void Rays is not fun. You spend your life never quite being able to charge up, although it feels so good too. And there it looks like Diafant with a huge swell of Stalkers finally finding his stride as he is doing Blink Micro versus non-upgraded Roaches. The 2-0 Blink Stalkers are totally owned! Oh my god, there's Burrow. That is so unbelievably unfair and painful. Looks like Diafant now taking down destructible debris. There's the Robo facility. Oh no! Oh no! He's going to try to do his best to defend, but no, the Mutalisk spring into action, eliminates them with judicious prejudice. And there we see Diafant trying to micro as best he can, but how do you micro against Roaches when they're under the ground? He needs to start blinking up onto this high ground. More and more Blink Stalkers coming into the fray, but at any point in time, John Oldman from Team Facebook can easily sweep in and deny everything with that Burrow. And there it looks like the Burrow force might be too great. We see the force of Stalkers rapidly taking maximum damage, but they will retreat to the high ground, where Diafant says, I'm not done yet, but I will warp in one extremely vulnerable Stalker onto the low ground. Guys, oh, what a relief that you told me to go home. There we have a Chrono Boosted Observer. The only thing standing in the way of IBM in victory is one single Observer. We see the Roach army from John Oldman quite high, 31 to the 20 Stalker count of his Protoss opponent, Diafant. Diafant now trying to take out the destructible rocks. A third base has been planted. And more Stalkers continue to be morphed in. There's the Blink on the low ground. He decides to go. He hasn't waited for the Blink to finish up. An Overseer reveals itself. And no, he does manage to take it out. And it looks like Diafant blinks back. He has found himself once again in the corner. He's in the corner. And Diafant trying to get back into a good position with his Stalkers. But always remember, the best counter to Stalkers is having way more units than he has. And it looks like more Roaches continue to stream in. The Blink Stalkers doing their damage to the burrowed Roaches of John Oldman. And either way, without enough units, no matter how good Diafant blinks, he might have to type out. In the meantime, though, an Immortal is en route. A robotics bay has gone down. The Valiant Protoss from IBM has not yet given up as the brilliant mass roach play from John Oldman continues to deflect again and again. +2 on the Zergling melee upgrade, as at some point the transition to those Zerglings, the Broodlords, the Ultralisks, anything involving the later stages of tech will benefit greatly from that Ling upgrade. And now it seems that the John Oldman Overseer, the John Overseer, will take out that proxy pylon. We see Diaphant also having, his first Immortal crab walking its way to the front. Perhaps it's crib walking, I don't know. Depends on what generation you're in. And we see some extra sentries thrown down there for the auxiliary bonus defense. And meanwhile, Diaphant trying to wall in, but a huge army of roaches! Oh no, roaches streaming on in. See you later, 1 gate, see you later, 2. The giant force of Stalker, Sentry, Immortal, will it be enough? It's all going to come down to the force fields. Where are the force fields? The force fields, oh no, they never went down! And John Oldman doing the classic Zerg hug that involves cuddling your roaches to the enemy Protoss units. And as we see this killer force of roaches stream in, too many to count on 1 or 2 tabs, will be reinforced by another 17 roaches. A dangerous position for Diaphant to be in. John Oldman from Team Facebook representing the social networking site well, as IBM, the business solutions company, might be out of solutions to this problem. How does a business deal with a roach army at 58? It might be 2 letters. Good game. Try again next time. In the meantime, it looks like Diaphant's still trying to create a good enough army to defend his third that has been battered and beaten badly backwards, and now he's retaking the Nexus for round 2. It looks like Diaphant adding in some extra Immortals, which do a whopping 60 damage to them roaches, but here come the roaches in killer forces with enough holes in the front to make a Protoss player weep, but there will only be 1 weeping Protoss today, and his name will be Diaphant, as he tries desperately to build enough units. The Blink Stalkers, the Immortals, what do I warp in? God only knows, because only he would figure out the perfect force field placement to defend this killer force of roaches, eliminating the pylon, stepping in, the Immortals doing incredible, staggering amounts of damage, but it still won't be enough. The roach army too big, and good game! Facebook manages to take the victory in game number 1 as John Oldman, representing the forces from the right side, bumps it up. And there you have it. John Oldman has brought Facebook to victory now. But keep in mind, Facebook has earned their position in the round of 8, having taken down Microsoft in the round of 16. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because in round number 2 of the After Hours Gaming League, it will be Atrain versus Element. My name is Day9, and stay tuned for more AHGL action as we're going on to Game 2 between IBM and Facebook.